Yesterday we covered the essential smokes for Overpass. Today we're going to pair all of those up with other types of utility to create the best nade combos for this map going into Season 3. But before we dive in, I want to thank today's sponsor, Skins Monkey. For those of you that don't know, Skins Monkey is an automated CS2 trading site that allows you to select the old skins you don't want anymore and pick out some new ones from the monkey. It's a great way to freshen up that old dusty inventory, and hey, that's not all. They have some amazing filter and selection features, as well as 24/7 live support. If you click the link in the description, you can get a free $5 and a 30% deposit bonus that becomes 35% if you use my code TACTICS on the site. Don't miss out on this offer and check out Skins Monkey today. Let's get back into the video. Let's kick things off with an aggressive play towards Fountain. The pros love throwing a Molotov towards the playground entrance, blocking it off before the T's arrive. If they respect it, it allows for your long player to take the angle deep into playground. Along with that, they'll throw a smoke that isolates aggressive T's away from their other teammates. Combine those two nades with a spicy new flash, and you're gonna melt the enemy team. Alright, let's go ahead and break all of this down, starting with the incendiary grenade. So what you're going to do is run straight down here off spawn. You're going to go just barely to the left of Divider, and you're going to aim in between the top of this step and this horizontal line right here. So you're just going to aim right in the middle of this line on the wall, and you're going to do a run, jump through, and release the second you pass this part of the Divider. So I'll back up and show you. So all in one motion, it's just going to look something like this. Now this is pretty easy to hit. It's just going to land right here on this position, completely mollying out the entrance to playground. This lands well before the T's get here, so they're going to have to make a decision whether they're going to respect it or run through and take a significant amount of damage. Now hopefully you have a teammate throwing a smoke for you. If not, you can just back up and do this yourself and flash for a teammate, but you're going to go right alongside this part of the Divider, and you're going to do a simple jump throw at this plus on the wall. That smoke is going to fly up here, it's going to bank off the wall, and it's going to completely smoke off this entire side towards the T-spawn. As you can see, there are no gaps on either side, so generally this forces anyone stuck back here behind the molly to where they want to play up in front of this before anything comes through. Now that's where from that exact same position, you're going to end up moving from the top of the staircase over to the middle of this part of Divider and doing a simple jump through. Now believe it or not, this flash is completely team safe. It's a one-way team flash that is going to roast any of the T's on this side of Fountain. Now what's so insane about this, it's impossible to dodge. It's an invisible flash. It lands in the middle of the bushes. If you turn off the trajectory line, you will never see this thing coming. It is impossible to spot. Now what's crazy about this flash, there's pretty much nowhere they can be positioned where they're not going to get full blinded by this thing without ever seeing it coming, and the fact that it just doesn't blind your teammates makes this one of the best flashes you could ever throw in any situation when there's any sort of Fountain aggression. Now it's pretty hard to make an Overpass video without talking about this set right here. It's a dumpster smoke and a truck molly along with a flash that's just going to roast any of the CTs on sight. Alright, so now to break all that down, if you go right here onto the side of Divider and do a simple jump throw in between this dot and this dot on the wall, that's going to be a nice dumpster smoke. That's going to fly right off the side of the dumpster and completely smoke this area off where you can't see a thing if you're playing back there on the stairs. Now, of course, it's time to deal with the truck players. So from that same exact position, what you're going to do is you're going to aim from this column on the right side of it down to this line. You're going to go a little bit below that and do a simple jump throw. Now this molly is going to end up hitting here, and it's going to spread all sorts of different places on the backside here. This is the perfect optimal spread, but that doesn't happen every single time. Sometimes it's going to leave a small gap here. Sometimes it's going to leave a small gap there. So let's discuss that. Now that lineup is a little pixel perfect. For example, if I try to throw it again pretty much the same way, there's a good chance it's not going to catch all three of the CTs. Let's take a look. Notice it's not spreading to catch this guy on the truck. So if you want to make sure it's in it, look at that, it's not even getting the guy in the back corner. So I don't really know what the deal is with that or why it's so inconsistent. Sometimes I wish that CS2 mollies weren't so mysterious, but if you want to make sure you're getting the back right, I would just adjust the molly to be slightly more to the right. So for example, you just aim maybe about here and throw it. And every single time that will always catch this guy in the corner. And hey, even sometimes, look at this, magically it is spread to hit everything. But if you want to make sure you catch a guy here, I would aim a little bit to the right. If you want to make sure you catch all of the players up here, aim a little bit more to the left. But hey, no matter how wild that molly's getting, one thing that always stays the same is this flash aiming at this position is always going to be king. This thing will roast every single position on the site while not blinding your teammates. Notice how pretty much every relevant high danger position is just getting toasted by this flash, and I'm able to just stand here and not get blinded by it. One thing to keep in mind about the flash, if you're just completely flush with the divider, it will pop off the back of this wall. So be careful about that. Before you throw the flash, I would just move out to the right a little bit and start throwing it like this. Just make sure you're able to see the second divider and you should be good. So now I'll just show you what this looks like throwing it all in one motion and how fluid it is to throw once you've practiced it a little bit. Notice how I don't have to stop at all. I'm just throwing all this utility as fast as I possibly can and just roasting all these positions on site. All right, now let's refresh our B site utility set. So from right here in this corner, you can do a simple left click throw at this crane on the wall. That's gonna fly up here and it's gonna completely smoke off all of heaven. It's a little bit more tucked than the previous versions that I've shown off. It's not gonna spill down or anything. And from that exact same position, you can then do a simple jump throw at the top of the railing where it intersects with the right side of this wall. And guess what? That is a perfect toxic Molotov. It's gonna completely burn out this position all the way. Now again, from that exact same position, what you can do is you can find this railing right here, go just a little bit below it and do a simple jump throw with a flash. This thing is going to land on the right side here, and it's not going to blind you, but it's going to roast most of the common angles on site. Even people down here towards Monster are also just getting roasted by this. This is a fantastic support flash to throw as your team is going out and taking site. The most common angle that's safe from this flash is right here on the ramp, and what I like to do is just take it very personally when someone's standing there, and from that exact same spot, I'm going to do a simple jump there with this dark mark right here, and just bonk him right on the head with an HE grenade. This thing does a pretty solid amount of damage, right at 50 HP. Alright, so all together, we're going to throw the smoke for heaven, we're going to throw the molly for toxic, we're going to throw the flash for your teammates, and then we're just going to bonk this guy right here on the head, and just like that, you have a very potent one-man execute for the B site if you're coming through short. And finally, I'll leave you guys with a very simple but effective nade set for B site when you're playing CT. As you're leaving this area from spawn, you're going to be looking up here, finding this bolt, and doing a nice left and right click release. That molly's going to land right here in the middle of this short pipe, completely mollying it off, separating them from water. And right after you do that, it's a good idea to go over here back against this wall and do a simple left click throw where the left side of this building intersects with the wood. That is going to completely blow up this squeaky door, and it's going to allow you to jump spot from the sandbags here and see both the short pipe and deep connector. This is an incredible amount of information that you should definitely take advantage of when you're the B anchor. And hey, if you think that's whack, here's an example of Nav throwing this in one of the last official CS2 overpass matches that were played. Notice how Twist is going to be taking full advantage of this jump spot, and they're getting a lot of information. I know that's not the most exciting of nade sets, but sometimes being a good teammate isn't always the most exciting thing to do. And that's just about everything I've got for today. I appreciate you guys sticking through it to the end and watching this video. If you learned something new, let me know down in the comments below, and let me know if you have any ideas for future videos. Before I go, I do want to thank all of my amazing channel members on screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.